Well, hello, folks out there in YouTube land. Got a very interesting show coming for you. I just heard about this. A little birdie's been tweeting and talking about some things that are very interesting about the Florida Gators. And they may be on flip alert again. And Florida folks are in total panic mode. Look, they've already lost not one, but two quarterbacks, okay?
Okay.
And now they may lose DJ Lagway. There are little rumors going around that he may flip to Clemson. And it's got Florida YouTubers up in arms, and they're worried, and it's a nervous kind of type of worry because they've already lost two. So this could be very interesting. Let's get into this. Now, this is High Top Sports right here, and I'm going to let you listen to what they have to say. I've featured two of these three folks here. I'm not sure who this guy is in the middle, but they have come out live on this. They're so concerned, and they're trying to act like they're not, but they should be, given how things have gone for them.
Real quick, so what they're talking about in the chat is they're referring to Coach Hayes talking about he heard a little birdie that DJ Lagway would flip to Clemson. Now, I had a little bit of I was starting to sweat a little bit a few weeks before we had our massive recruiting class when they went and got one of our wide receiver targets. I don't remember his name now because he's dead to me. And they landed Sammy Brown. They had their weekend, right? They had their Jubilee weekend, which doesn't even compare to what we had, but at the time it was a massive 2 to 3 day stretch. And I was sitting there going, shit, they're going after doing what Florida should be doing and putting together a team, and they need a quarterback. And Lagway was a target of theirs. Could this happen? Now, I feel a lot more confident now with what Billy's been able to do. But I think apparently, so what happened was Coach Hayes said on his show that a little birdie, I don't know if that birdie, is sick or not, but said that he could possibly be flipping to Clemson. So I'm going to ask you two, what's your thoughts on this little birdie here? I'll go to you first, and then Dave.
All right, little history here on this. Coach Hayes is a guy that's very much connected with a lot of the parents, a lot of the players, and I've actually featured him before, and I'll show you that. And this was a flip that happened with Simmons, who was a guy that was reclassifying to this year, and they thought they had this guy coming in, and he flipped to Ole Miss. But I did feature that, and look, he actually got the interview with the dad of Simmons, and this is where I had him.
And sometimes, as soon as a kid is coming, we love him. We love him. He decided to go somewhere else. I remember when Shamar Stewart.
So understand, this is not just somebody talking about this. This is a real person who's very interconnected, and that's why they're doing a show on this tonight. And I think they're in a little bit of panic.
I honestly don't think that there's any chance that happens. Obviously, I can be wrong, but from what I've been told, not only is Lagway really all in, his family is very much all in. His family and Napier have a really good rapport, have built a really good relationship. And DJ has been out there recruiting for Florida nonstop.
Nothing to see here, please, Pittsburgh. Nothing to see here, please.
And so it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to publicly recruit for Florida and then leave all those guys that you got to come here and jump ship and go elsewhere. But I think that there's always going to be negative recruiting that happens. That's probably Clemson planted that seed somewhere along the line. They want that to be the word on the street,
They want the noise. They want the TMZ headlines. Yep.
Of course. And, for Napier, the negative recruiting is going to be, well, they didn't win last year, so if they don't win this year, he won't be there when you are actually, legitimately playing. And I think that what Napier has told this class is, look, we're not going to have a great season this year.
That's exactly what they're talking about. Look, if Napier has a poor season this year, have you met any Florida Gator fans? They don't sit around and go, oh, well, we'll just wait another year. It's just football. Let me tell you something. In Florida, football is a big, well, you already know what a big deal it is. It's just as big a deal in Florida as it is here. And they're already coming off 2 losing seasons. They're going to have a 3rd losing season. Oh, well, DJ Lagway's coming in. Everything's going to be fine. A freshman, I tell you what, Lane Kiffin is lingering around. Don't think he wouldn't take a phone call from Florida if they had a losing season this year and they gave him a holler. I know Lane Kiffin. He would take the call.
We're building, and we want you to be a part of that. You can come in and have an immediate impact if you work hard. There's good opportunities for on the field play. And this is a total rebuild. And I think that the administration knows that it's a rebuild. I think that they're giving Billy a much longer leash than probably fans will give Napier. So I think that little birdie is not correct.
I love it. Dave?
Yeah, I love Coach Hayes to death. I've been on his show a couple times. I know he's a Miami guy, but he does do a lot of good coverage on high school kids, and I appreciate what he's done for us. I've known Coach Hayes for a while. I mean, it is recruiting. Anything can happen, but at the same time, I just don't see Lagway going anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, it's only happened 2 times in a row. Why would it happen a third time? Because I'm going to tell you something. This year coming up, I don't like their situation. The quarterbacks they've got, and let me make something clear. Everybody thinks, oh, well, I don't like the Florida Gators. And it's because of not the last 15 years, the last 25 years with Steve Spurrier and all his doings and keeping us out of national championship games and all that. And yeah, maybe I'm a little bit, irked that they've won a crap load. And yeah, maybe I'm a little irked that they've had our number up until last year. And hopefully we'll take care of them this year. We'll see. The Swamp's not an easy place to play, but they're down, okay? And I don't want them getting back up. But I'll tell you what, I'm not the only YouTuber that has noticed this. It's pretty obvious they're in a very bad situation at QB.
But we got to get a move on and talk about the Florida Gators. Oh, man. Get your popcorn ready for this one because this is going to be interesting to say the least. I'll just say this. I don't think too many Florida fans are going to like what I have to say. Number one, let's start on with this. Florida fans, you are not a top 25 team. As to why ESPN and all these ranking systems are putting you in the top 25 preseason polls, I have no idea. I don't know where that's coming from. You're not a top 25 team, and in this up-and-coming season, you are going to be trash. You know why you're going to be trash? Because you don't have a quarterback, and let me calm down because I'm getting way too far ahead of myself. Apparently and allegedly, their starter is going to be Graham Mertz. If y'all don't know anything about Graham Mertz, this dude is not a good quarterback, and their entire quarterback room, it's awful. It's arguably one of the worst in the SEC. It's pathetic, it's embarrassing, and I'm going to leave it at that. If Graham Mertz is your starting quarterback, you're in for some trouble. I'll show you his stats right here. Normally I read them off to you guys, but just take a look at them for yourself. They are laughable, to say the least, and they're going to be worse this year, I guarantee it. Let's make a long story short there. The quarterback room, it's awful. And I highlight that first because if you don't have a quarterback or quarterbacks in the SEC, you're going to struggle big time. Overall, for their entire offense, not that good. And overall, for their entire defense, not that good. And that's why I label them as trash. This Florida football team isn't good at any aspect of the game. They're mediocre at best, and that's all I can give them. Their bad days are really bad, and their good days aren't too much better. Last year, with a top 5 NFL draftee quarterback, they were awful. So what do you think is going to happen this year? They had Anthony Richardson and couldn't even win games. So do what you want with that information. Outside of that, though, what else has happened in the offseason? Well, we talked about a few weeks ago how they lost that 4-star quarterback who decided to go to Ole Miss. To me, I don't think that's a big deal. And then after that, I had a bunch of people tagging me in this, how Florida landed like it was either 5 or 4-star recruits within the next 48 hours, which is cool. It's awesome. And I've seen all these Florida fans in the past couple of days and weeks say, oh yeah, look at our recruiting class, Matt. We're back. We're in the top 5 for 2024. And yes, you are in the top 5 for 2024, but it's so early on, none of this even matters that much. I'm not one to hype up recruiting classes because notice in this top 5, you don't see Alabama. You know why? Because they don't recruit hard early on. Trust me, when it's all said and done, Alabama will be at either number 2, 3, or 1 on this list. I don't want to sound like a negative Nancy here, though. I will say it is nice that Florida did pick up a bunch of nice recruits over the past couple of weeks. That's a good sign. And also, here's my thing with that. I don't care about your recruits that are coming in 2024. What about 2023? We're not talking about the 2024 season. We're talking about 2023. You can hype up your 20.
Exactly. Are they punting this year? Has Billy Napier kind of told the guys this is going to be a bad year and told the administration, don't over-expect? I don't know how that fan base is going to handle that. I really don't. And if they lose this DJ Lagway, if he does flip, that would be a nightmare for them. And let's take a look at Coach Hayes. I think he's having a little fun with this. He is a Miami guy, but he's also in the know. Let's see what his Twitter account's doing.
I think we got a gate on the line. Hold up. Oh. I gotta let some of the line up. I got a big one. Is this the Chris Gator? Is this the Chris Gator? Gator, you online? You on the line, Gator?
Oh yeah. Hey, you got a bull gator.
I got a. Hold on.
Hey, pull in hard for the line snap.
I got a big one, mama.
Yep. So he doesn't mind having some fun with the Gators and dealing with them. But, hey, you know, he's obviously heard something. And if he's heard something, you know, he kind of knew what was going on with the Simmons thing. Like I said, he got the interview with the guy. And I wouldn't be surprised. So Florida in panic mode. I hate that for Florida. That's such a shame. I know you Vols fans, you're worried about them. You're probably going to lose sleep tonight worrying about them. Don't lose sleep over them, Vols fans. They'll be okay, all right? So don't worry about that. But I'll keep tabs on this because you know I like to keep my eye on those on those Gators. And if they lose another quarterback, oh, my God, I don't even know what you do at that point. And I do have to admit they've had some good recruiting. But can they hold those guys? If they win 5-6 games, see, I think they're going to win 6 games next year. One of them might be against us. I hope not. But I just don't see it, man. I don't like their schedule. I don't like their quarterback room. I don't like anything about the Gators this year. I just don't. They had Anthony Richardson last year, and they struggled. What are they going to do with this mediocre quarterback room? I just don't see it. And if you like this content, be sure to hit that like button. Let's continue to cover the Vols, the Gators, all our opponents. And if you've not subscribed, it's on your right, my left. Just hit that little button. I would appreciate it. And right over here's the most recent video. Be sure to check that out. And we'll see you next time on Sports Talk Jay.